Hey guys! Okay, so as promised, we're doing the review for Tyler Perry's Temptation and Olympus Has Fallen. Okay, so with Tyler Perry's Temptation, I saw this movie twice. What? Hold on, I got a text message. Oh, get your live. Sorry. Okay, so I saw this movie twice. Once with my friend Sammy, and the second one with my boyfriend. Okay, it was not my intention to see it twice, but at the same time, I didn't mind seeing it twice. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, I want to keep this short and sweet. The movie wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, which was good. I have seen The Marriage Counselor, the play by Tyler Perry, and of course, in true Tyler Perry fashion, I knew he was going to turn it into a film because that's what Tyler Perry does. Now, this review is not about Tyler Perry, what he does, or his films. I'm actually going to make a separate video on how I really feel about Tyler and his films. But that's going to be another day. Now, back to Temptation. The cast, great. Great cast, believable cast, which is something that I love the most, is when I could really think, like, I could see, I think I could, if these people were really somewhere living in D.C., like, they're that legit. The whole everyone thinking the grass is green on the other side kind of thing, totally relatable. Everything. I really love how there was like a build too. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna hit you back up. My bestie. Anyway, but yeah, so I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh yeah, there was a build. So you see she goes home and she's telling her husband like, oh, I can't believe I'm working for these kinds of people. I thought I would have my own practice, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, 10 to 15 years, maybe. We'll see. But she meets this guy, and this guy's just, she tells him the same thing. And this guy's just like, oh, well, you're intelligent and write up a business plan and I'll look at it, like, kind of thing. Now, everyone automatically is like, oh, that's because he got money, he got the resources. And no, I disagree. There's no monetary amount that you can put on support and motivation and, inspiration. And you can't do that. Like, okay, granted, Lance Gross' character probably didn't have a lot of money, but he could have told his wife, you know what, honey, don't worry, good things come to those who wait. And I'm sure with like at the right time and the right moment, hey, maybe we could have got loans to see about your practice or something like that. But yet he didn't do it. He was very content with having this, mediocre, I work at a pharmacy, you work wherever kind of life. And that's okay. And that's fine if that's what you want. But if your wife is expressing that she wants something else, you need to support her in that. You need to stimulate her mind. I don't feel like he was stimulating her mind. Another thing, he wasn't paying attention enough. There's no way that if I was married and my significant other decides to go in the next room to have a conversation and then all of a sudden it's like deuces right afterwards, that I don't notice that. Like, the behavior or the fact that she gets out of a guy's car and this guy is like a millionaire, gets out of his car looking better than what she probably ever did out of our whole entire marriage, and her hair is all messed up and I don't notice that. Like, it's just like, what? It's like, you don't notice that? Like, so I don't know, I just felt like Judith's husband's character was very, very, very naive. So I don't know how I feel about that. Brandy, I understood why she was there. She linked, Marley and Judith a little bit better. I was kind of confused when I saw her running out of nowhere out of the pharmacy into some random place with a bat. And I was like, well, get your life. So that's that. I don't like the fact that Judith gets AIDS and ends up alone. That's my biggest thing of the film. At one point you have Lance Gross' character, who's her husband, saying, if you come home right now, forget everything. And then when she winds up deciding that she wants to come back home because she just got her ass beat, It's not a valid reason, but hey, I guess it could wake people up. Uh, you know, she's like, you know, this is broken, pointing to her heart, pointing to his heart, excuse me. And then she's like, we can fix it, right? We can work on it, right? And he's just like, yeah. Then all of a sudden, fast forward, he got a wife that's like, looks like 20 years younger than him and a toddler with someone else. Like, it's just like, what? And then she over here walking all crippled and, you know, into the pharmacy, and she got HIV, and then she talking about, I gotta go meet mama at the church. Why does she end up all alone? Why? And then he's in this big, bright, white coat looking like a beacon of light, and then she in gray and black looking all miserable. And the credits rolling. I don't know if I like that. Because, number one, I thought, like, hey, Tyler, I thought you were big on the sanctity of marriage and always sticking it out and staying together. So the only valid reason, because even though, you know, in the script, he says that he'll forget everything and he'll stay with her. So the only valid explanation for this breakup is because she has HIV. And I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like that's a little bit low. Once again, I don't think it's the best film. Never said that, but I thought it was better than what I thought it was going to be. Speaking of the best film, honestly, Olympus Has Fallen probably was the best film I've seen all year. And I'm going to take it a step further. It caught my attention a lot more than Django. Even though when I was, you know, watching Django, I was whatever. That's neither here nor there. I just felt like I could not stop watching Olympus Has Fallen. You know, I went with my boyfriend to go see it, and the whole time we're just like, we're just so into it. And the fact that, you know, right now our country, you know, the U.S. is having this, I don't even know what you want to call it, with North Korea, and then to watch a film that talks about being taken over by Koreans, it's kind of like a little close to home, a little bit, it's not a little bit, very relevant to what's happening, despite the fact that I think the guy who took it over, who was trying to take it over in the film, was South Korean. But that's neither here nor there. It's just very close to home. Gerard Butler was absolutely amazing. I love watching the film because it reminded me of one of those classic films like a U.S. Marshal, or, you know, one of those action-packed films that you don't really see anymore. And it's always like this one-man show. So I really enjoyed watching it. There's nothing bad I can say, besides the fact that I thought the president was an idiot a lot of the times. And I was just like, wow. Like, when I mean, we were so into that film, it was like as if, like, nothing else in the world mattered. This film was like, like, we wish that we could just jump into the screen and start dictating stuff, because what we saw was just like, it was just so good. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I know I'm definitely getting it on DVD, Blu-ray, if it come out on VHS, that every copy you can get, you need to get it, because it's such a great film. I don't even know what else to say. I don't even have anything bad to say. I can't even say that I was confused about anything. What I didn't like was that the president was such a wuss. Like, you know, they had all his secretaries there with him, and, you know, they're like, oh, tell us the code or whatever, to unlock to unlock the missiles. And, you know, they weren't saying anything. And the president's like, just give it to him, because he couldn't bear seeing them being killed in front of him. And I'm just like, you're running the country, dude. Like, no one should have access to these codes at all. Like, that's a part of, like, your oath, like, to me. Like